A few weeks ago, I filmed a video where my dad chose what I read for a week. So I thought it'd be fun to do the same, but where my mom chose what I read for a week. So I got my mom to choose my reads for a week, and I got her to choose out 5 books because sometimes I can have a good reading week and then sometimes not so good. But I am hoping to read all of these because they are very exciting reads, and some, like, there's a mixture, so I've been meaning to read for a long time, so I'm very excited to read. So these are the ones that she chose, and please don't mind the sticky notes on it, it's just the way I planned. So we have Love and Saffron. This is very short. Obviously this is not going to take me long at all. Here is the cover, and I haven't really heard much about it, if I'm being completely honest, but obviously this won't take me long at all. This might be the first one I read, to be honest. I am very excited for it, but yeah, it just seems short, fun, definitely won't take me long, especially with the layout as well. It is 166 pages, so yeah, it won't take me long at all, and I am very excited to read this. Then we have How to Kill Men and Get Away with It. Again, this is another one I've been meaning to read for a while, and I'm very excited to read. I just never pick up, and I don't know why, if I'm being completely honest, but it just sounds interesting by the title. Then we have All the Bright Places. So I have been wanting to read this for a while, I've just never been in the right mental state. Am I still? No, but I am really intrigued, and I did watch the movie years ago. I don't actually remember much about it, if I'm being completely honest, but oh, that noise. But I am very excited to start this one. Then we have Maggie Moves On by Lucy Score. This is one I'm very, very excited to read, and also another one I've been meaning to read for a long time, so it is about time that I got to it. And then lastly we have One of Us is Lying, and I have been wanting to read this for a while. It is quite like an old booktok book, so I need to get to it because I do definitely get FOMO from this book. So these are the books that my mum chose for me for this week. So I think I am going to start with this one since it is the shortest, and then there will be one book off. That is what I am going to start with, and I will be starting that tonight. So that is what I'm going to go and do now. So I know that I said last night I was going to start Love and Saffron, but instead I did start the audiobook for All the Bright Places because I just wanted to listen to it. I didn't really want to read anything physically, so I did start listening to that, and then this morning I have been listening to more of it, and I've got an hour and 47 minutes left. I am enjoying it so far. Obviously it's heartbreaking, and there are obviously some bits that I can relate to, which is nice because sometimes you just need or want a relatable book, but it is definitely heartbreaking. Also, if you are planning on reading this book, please check the trigger warnings because there's many triggering things for this. I'll try and leave a link in the description if I remember and if I can find one, but I will try and leave the trigger warnings so you can have a look in case you decide to read this book, because there are some very hard topics. I had to wait until I was in a better place to read this. To be honest, I'm not fully 100%. I never will be, but I do feel like this is maybe the best time to read it, because I do also feel like I need something relatable, and sometimes something relatable can help, if that makes sense. I don't know how to explain it, but either way, I am liking it so far. I don't really want to say enjoy because you are reading or listening about two people really struggling, so you know it's I don't want to say enjoy because obviously I'm not going to enjoy that, but I am liking the writing style, I am liking the plot of the story, and I would recommend it, but obviously only if you can read it. Check the trigger warnings again. But yeah, so I am going to maybe finish this book off this morning, and then I'll give like a wrap up of my thoughts afterwards. So this morning I ended up finishing All the Bright Places, and I did decide to rate this 3.5 stars. I think I'm going to go with, because like I was saying in the other clip, I did like the storyline. I just found it really heartbreaking, especially near the end. Like, it really breaks your heart, and you really have to be in the right mental place for this book, honestly. I have had this on my TBR for so long for that pure fact. So yeah, check the trigger warnings for this book because there are some very hard topics discussed, but I would recommend because it is a good written story. I feel like it uses the representation well, but it is difficult. So that is all I'm going to say on that. I did watch the movie actually a few years back. I don't actually remember what happened in the movie. Like, this made it a new experience, but from what I do remember, it's obviously it's quite similar to the movie, which is also something that I liked. Just from obviously what I remember, I don't remember much. Now I'm going to start Love and Saffron. This one take me longer all because it's so short, so I am going to go and read this now. This just got so sad. I had a feeling it was going to happen. I had this feeling. I had this feeling it was going to happen, but it just... Okay. Oh, that's so sad. I'm teary-eyed. So I've just finished Love and Saffron and I decided to rate it 3 stars. I was a bit confused at the beginning, if I'm being completely honest. Like, I didn't really get the gist of the story, but the more I read, the more I got into it. The friendship that Imogen and I think her name was Joan had was so sweet, and the recipes, I found that really interesting. Like, I actually want to try and do some of the recipes because some of them actually did sound really good, or like just really interesting. And I love the fact that we actually got the recipes in it. You got some like during the book, but then you get like some at the end as well. But yeah, I would highly recommend it. It is very short, very quick, fast paced. I had a great time reading this. At the end, obviously, as you saw my reaction, it got sad. But that was all I'm going to say. You might just tear up a bit if you read this. But I had a feeling what was going to happen, but it was one of those things where I was like, no, it can't. I can't say without spoiling too much. But I thought I was like, no, it's going to get better, and then it didn't. So that is that. The next one I'm going to start, I think, is Maggie Moves On. This I have been needing to read for a while, wanting to read for a while. It was actually on my August TBR, but I never got round to it. So hopefully this is the time. I have read Lucy Score before. I liked her books, so I'm hoping to like this one as well because it does seem really interesting. So I am going to go and start this. Okay, so it's the next day and it is like 7:37 and I've just been terrible about updating my reading today, but I have done reading. I've been reading Maggie Moves On. I did start this morning and I have got to chapter 32, which is page 269, and it is okay at the moment. It is looking like a 3.5 star, which is a good rating for me. I'm liking it. It's not bad. I feel like there are parts that are moving a little bit too slow for me. This is a bit thicker than what I would like it to be, if that makes sense. Like, it is 403 pages. I feel like it didn't need to be that long. It could have probably been like 300 pages. But I am liking how much of the story we're getting as well. So I can't really complain. I don't know how it would have worked without the amount of pages, except for like the bits that I like dragging on, or there are some bits that I don't feel like I needed. It could have come out. Now, I am liking the chemistry between the two characters. So we have Maggie and Silas. So Maggie has 4 months to remodel, flip a house, and Silas is the contractor, I want to say, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that is happening. And then obviously Silas is quite flirtatious, and like that's just the way he perceives himself. And Maggie is like, I don't have time for a relationship, but I do like him, kind of thing. And so you are seeing like the conflict between that. But it is really, really interesting. I am enjoying it. That's all I'm going to say. Nothing bad about it. But I think I'm going to finish it because I honestly don't have much left. I literally have this here. So I think I'm going to go and finish it and then I can do an overall wrap up. So today is Saturday and I am having like a reading day, a chill reading day. And I have read quite a bit. I'm proud of what I've read considering, so I'm just going to do the update. So this morning I finished off Maggie Moves On. I only had like not many pages left, a few pages, and I finished that off and I decided to rate it 3 stars. I did like it. There was, like I was explaining last night, there was a few parts that just personally wasn't for me. I didn't really enjoy. I felt like it was like dragging on, maybe wasn't needed, but then there was parts that I enjoyed. I loved the characters, you know, the basic stuff. It was like a basic read for me, you know, nothing bad, whatever. There's like a chance I would recommend it to people. And then I read One of Us is Lying. I started and finished this morning, and this is also another 3-star read. I felt there was some times where it was dragging on again and I was bored. I was like page checking of like how many pages I was in, which isn't obviously a good sign, but near the end, like the further you got into it, the better it got. The ending as well, I can say a little bit disappointing. I feel like something else could have happened. I don't know. Like, I was expecting for us to find out the twist and then there'd be another twist, because I'm pretty sure there's a second book in the series. So they're expecting there to be like another twist that happens for us to go into the second book, but obviously that didn't happen. Like what I thought just didn't happen, which is okay. Who I thought it was and what happened, like the twist, whatever, I was expecting either. There was no guesses. Who I thought was obvious, like the author was specifically pointing at this one person, making it seem like this one person, but I felt like that was too obvious. But the other person, I thought it wasn't. So yeah, that's all I'm going to leave that at. I would recommend this. I do want to watch the show, I believe it is, for this as well, so I will definitely be doing that, but I wanted to read the book first before I watched the show. But yeah, I did enjoy it. It was okay. There was just times and bits where I was bored, it was dragging on, and I was page checking, which, like I said, isn't normally a good sign. So those are all the books, and if you're wondering How to Kill Men and Get Away with It, I was going to read, but I am going to leave it for another video that I have planned, where my mom chooses my read for 24 hours. I'm just going to save this book for that. I actually really enjoyed all the books. There was loads of different genres, loads of different things, and I feel like it was a good selection. So that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye.